it is Elisa here, or the Diamond Stitcher as I go by on YouTube and Instagram. Hello, good morning or good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you're having a wonderful one. If you are new to my channel, first off, welcome. I'm happy you found me, and I hope you would consider subscribing and stick around for all things diamond painting. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your continued support. I have a bit of a different video for you guys today. I am filming this on Sunday. What is it? I think it's April 28th. Could be the 29th. I don't know, my days run together, but it's been a while since I've sat down and just talked to y'all. I owe you guys a WIP and Chat. I had planned to do that today, but if you're part of my Facebook group, you know that I did drop my Easter Coverminders this morning. And I want to get these packaged because tomorrow I have 2 medical appointments back to back, and I think the rest of the day is going to be a write-off. So I really want to get most of these packaged today, Sunday, so that Tuesday, when my husband is off work, he can help me take these to the post office. So I'm going to attempt to package up these minders while kind of giving you an update on what's going on and just talking about some things. And I don't know, we'll see where it takes us. It is muggy today, so I have the patio door open in case there's any cars revving their engines, but I doubt it because it's cloudy. What else? It's me and the dog and the cat here. Sorry if the lighting's a bit dark. I am using a different table. This is our coffee table. It's a really dark wood, but I didn't want to drag the other table out, and this is what it's going to be like today. So I hope you guys understand. But I don't even know where to begin. Where should I begin? Now, I have to be careful because I don't want addresses to appear on the camera. I think I'm set up so that I can avoid that. But if you see, if the video ends up being very choppy, it's because I had to cut a part out that might have showed an address. But I have my little agenda up at the top reminding me what I did the past couple weeks. It says I filmed a WIP and Chat on April 14th. I thought for sure it was like farther back than that. But I guess I did if I wrote it there, unless I wrote it on the wrong date. So let me show you some of these minders. For those of you that aren't in the Facebook group yet, make sure you go join. It's DAC Fans Canada. There's always a link to my Facebook group in the description box of every single video. There's also my email if you have any questions or concerns about anything, or want to reach out if you're a shop owner. And what else do I put? My Instagram there. I'm not super active on Instagram anymore. I spend most of my time in the Facebook group and then on YouTube here and answering comments and such. But majority of the time I'm in that Facebook group. It's just my generation. That's kind of what was big at the time. And Instagram came later, and I used to be really good at it. But it gets exhausting when you have to like post a picture on all these different social media platforms, and when you don't feel good, one is hard enough. So it's usually the Facebook is where I do post updates in that little group. We have a great community over there. It's not just for Canadians, as I always say, everybody is welcome. It's just if you are going to destash diamond paintings or diamond painting accessories, we ask that you're willing to ship to Canada. We do have a lot of members from the USA as well as international places too. You guys are welcome to destash again, as long as you are willing to ship to Canada. However, if somebody in the US jumps on the post, of course, you know, sell to your US friends. It's just when we all started diamond painting, the core group of us in that Facebook group, there was not a destash specific site for Diamond Art Club for Canadians. It was the USA destash group, but you'll find very quickly that not many Americans really want to ship to us. I think it's more of a lack of, you know, knowledge of how to do it, and don't want to be caught off guard with, you know, paying extra fees or fiascos, whatever it is. People just don't want to ship to Canada. So that's why we created this group to begin with. And it's just evolved into an amazing community. And I was reminded today, this morning, how amazing our little community is. Not to brag or anything, but we've created such an amazing atmosphere. I mean, there are some groups out there that they just irk me, you know. Now I'm getting into ranting before I even get anything else done, but it came up this morning, and I just thought, you know what, some people are just such micromanagers. They think that they are, you know, top dog. They are what is the phrase? It's godlike, God I don't know what it is, but you know, those kind of people who think, you know, they're the boss and what they say goes, and just very rude in how they communicate. And it's just, you know what, I'm sick of seeing that. You see it all over social media. It's just, you know what, you guys, if you're out there in you know, social media land, please be a kind person, no matter what is going on. Words can hurt, and the way things are said, you know, even people say, you know, you can't tell tone over message, but you sure can. I can. I know when somebody is being a little snob, and I know when somebody is being kind. And I think kindness matters, and we need to see more of it. I see far too much negative, nitpicky, blah, blah, back and forth going on, and I am tired of it. That includes in my Facebook group. Most people know that there's zero tolerance for any kind of shenanigans like that. It comes up, you know, every few months where, you know, two people get into a bit of a fight or an argument, and for some reasons they're just butting heads, but they like to make it public. And I don't like that, you guys. I think all conflicts should be dealt with like adults and in private. You know, I think resolutions can come about. I don't think people need to be, you know, at war all the time. It just creates such a toxic atmosphere. But, you know, in the Facebook group, it does come up now and again. Usually in the comment section, it gets embedded in there. Somebody gets triggered by something somebody said, and then you get this exchange back and forth, and then you get, as an admin of the group, you get messages with he said, she said, here's the screenshots, yada, yada, yada. I really don't like that at all, you guys. I think we're all adults, and maybe we're not, but I think we can act like adults. My biggest thing is just be respectful. Even in conflict, you can be respectful. You do not need to be rude. You do not need to bully. You don't need any of that. Come to a common solution. Yeah, get to the bottom of your crap before airing it on social media. That's all I have to say about that. It just is, as somebody who deals with a lot of, you know, chronic health problems, pain, yada, 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 my energy points for my given day are a lot smaller than a lot of you all. And what that means is I have a lower tolerance for crap that can come up, right? So when I see it, it kind of gets me, you know, triggered a little bit faster than most people, because I just want everybody to be adults. I want everybody to be kind. And when I don't see that, it just irks me. It just irks me, you guys. Anyway, that has been bothering me for a while, and it's not directed at any specific person. It comes up, like I say, every, say, 1.5 to 2 months, something comes up. And as the nature of a community, we're always going to have people disagreeing with each other, or maybe shops kind of going against each other, competition, or people, you know, who have butted heads for one thing or another. Often it is from a miscommunication, or like, what's the other word? You know, you took something the wrong way, often is what happens as well. You think they meant this, but they actually meant this. In a nutshell, be kind, deal with conflicts like adults, and don't air your dirty laundry on social media. I just don't like it. I think I mean, in a way, I know why people do it. I know, you know, especially if somebody started it first and is, you know, saying publicly that so-and-so is, you know, unkind, manipulative, blah, blah, blah. Think of all the negative words you could say. Of course, you want to defend yourself and show everybody the reasons why you're not any of that. But all that does is feed the fuel for the first person, because that's what they want. They want to get a rise out of you, and they want you to make a fool of yourself. And this will go back and forth, and in the end, both people look like fools. Now we have a divided community, and now whether intentionally or not, you are making people choose sides, and it's not a good place to be as just a common, you know, group member. You want to support everybody, and I know personally I hate having to choose sides, and I just refuse to do it now, and I just say goodbye to both people, and that's that, because I just do not have the mental energy or capacity to deal with that. My least favorite time period of my life was adolescence, and sometimes that's what it feels like. It feels like we're in high school and there's cliques, and, you know, everybody's vying for the top thing. Anyways, all of that being said, can I please see a little bit more kindness, especially in my area? I know everybody is pretty awesome. It's just like I say, every couple of months something kind of festers, and don't let it get to that point. Deal with the conflicts you have right in the beginning, because if you deal with it right away, it's not going to hopefully snowball into this giant mess that has you upset too, right? So anyway, enough about that. I need a sip of water, and let's get started. So this is what happens when I don't sit down and talk to you guys regularly, like in this WIP and Chat kind of formula. I have, it's like when I haven't, you know, sat down and chatted, I have a whole bunch of things in my head that pop up. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention this. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this. And it tends to be a little bit of all over the place. Sorry if that is the case today, but that's just how my brain is working. I have been struggling. I am not the worst I've ever been. I have a lot of people message me all the time, which I'm very thankful for, asking how I'm doing. My answer usually is I'm hanging in there, and that's what's going on right now. I'm not good. I'm not bad. I'm coasting. I'm surviving. I am having to be a little bit slower. Like I've slowed down. I haven't actually diamond painted consistently for 2 weeks now. I overdid it with my arm and working on my Epic project, which is I'm converting the Orange Tabby Night painting into my ragdoll cat. Video is on the channel somewhere for you to see. I called it the Epic project. A few weeks back I posted about it, but yeah, I went really hard, and let's get started here. I went really hard, and then I wasn't able to diamond paint for just over a week, and I've slowly been back at it, but I've just been working on a very small round kit, and I'm not finding a lot of joy in it. Here's this minder. I'm putting this aside for Linda, one of our group members, who's always very helpful in the group. This is going in your pile, not to worry. Make sure I grab the right one, number 16, yeah. Okay, now what was I talking about? Maybe this was a bad idea. I thought this would be easier than doing my WIP. Okay, I don't know what I was talking about. Let's keep going. Number 9, so oh yeah, I was talking about how I was struggling and I'm just managing. These minders are all my Easter minders, so I'll try to hold them up as I'm pulling them out here. This is on a purple background, a little bunny with a little chick with lots of different things around it. Let me take one out so those of you that haven't seen these before can see what they are. So here is the Coverminder. I think they're 1 inch, 1.5. Actually, I have a measure tape here. Just under 1.5 inches in diameter. Oops, I'm trying to get it close here. There we go. So sometimes I put other things besides crystals around it. I've got some half pearls, and then I find these little clay things, like these ones are flowers. I have butterflies, ladybugs, all sorts of things that I can put around them. And then I glue a magnet on the back. It actually has 2, right? So this one's glued, this one isn't. This piece will go on top of your diamond painting, and then this free magnet goes underneath. Most people use it to hold back that plastic cover when you're diamond painting. If you just pull it back for a section, I actually just use them to secure release papers, or what some people actually do is just have them sitting on their canvas when they're filming their own WIP and Chat, just for fun. You can match them with your diamond paintings. I'm doing themed drops right now, so this was the Easter drop. Because I've had a really hard year so far, I did not get them out in time. Easter when was it? March. It was the end of March, wasn't it? The end of March, and I couldn't get them done. What was I doing? I was doing minders for Shay's Mermaids and Magic event, so I was doing a lot of those and wanting to get a lot out there for those that were participating. And I just ran out of time. I had to take a lot of days off just because of my pain. It's really hard for me to make these minders. When you hear the phrase, you know, you put blood, sweat, and tears into it, literally, that's what it takes for me to make these. But I absolutely enjoy making them. They make me happy, especially when I'm doing different themes. I'm always switching it up so I don't get bored of doing the same one too much. So I did manage to get 24 of them made, and I just dropped them today, which is, let's check, Sunday, April 28th. So at time that I'm filming, there's actually a few left still, but likely they will be gone by the time this video goes up. But you can always check on my Facebook group to see. I will try and pin it in the featured section. Now I'm just looking up this person so I can get their label written. Now I want to make sure I'm not in the camera. Good. Okay, let me just write this. That's the hard part, is writing and speaking something different at the same time. I don't know about you, but I find that if I'm writing something and speaking about something else, I'll start to accidentally write what I'm speaking instead of what I'm thinking. But I think this is a good task to keep your brain sharp. So most of these minders, if you are Canadian, they get sent Canada Post ground mail. Right now I charge $5. That includes the packing supplies, including the bubble mailers. Because they are resin, I wanted to not just send them in plain envelopes. Plus, I usually get some fancy themed not release papers, tissue paper. I take the time to hand write everything. Everything is handmade from scratch. I start from the wood piece. I have to paint them all the different colors on all sides, and then I you know, put the layout of everything on here that I want, and then I have to cover it in resin. So they do take a lot of time, and I want to make sure they arrive to you in one piece too. So that's why I do that. So Canada ground mail is $5. That includes an oversized stamp. Depending on how many people order, sometimes I have to use 2 stamps, which then it would come to just under 5, so I'd be losing money in shipping, but most of the time I can get away with 1 stamp. I do ship to the USA. That is tracked shipping only, and last week when I shipped, it was coming to $10 Canadian. So if you're American, it would be a little bit less with the exchange rate, right? Actually, what I might do so that this isn't so boring is I'm gonna put things in the envelopes, and I'm gonna deal with the, oh darn, I forgot something. I really don't want to get up. Oh gosh, here, hold on guys, I have to get up. I have to move the camera. I've locked myself in here, hold on. Okay, I'm back. I had to grab something. So what I'm also including in these minders, is a free little Easter bunny. So if you ordered from this drop, I usually put a themed freebie cover minder on here. Again, it has 2 magnets, same thing as the handmade ones I make. This is just a freebie and then a little thank you. What I'm going to do is actually wrap these and then do the address stuff later. That way I don't have to take up time doing that and potentially making a mistake on the label. That would be horrible. So yeah, as I was saying, if you're in Canada for these minders, I send them ground mail. I haven't had one that's gotten lost yet, knock on wood. Everything has arrived. US, I have to send it tracked, which is good anyways because things go missing. Even when they're tracked, they don't arrive on time. So I'm going to see if I can fit a couple of candies in here as well. Then I always include some fun stickers. You know, it's kind of fun to go the extra mile and add little fun things in these packages. It's part of the fun. I know if you own a small shop, you also probably feel the same way that I do. And when I am wrapping these, I try to strategically wrap these because they are going ground mail, so they can't be too fat, otherwise they will return them. So if you wonder why something's packaged the way it is, it's because I'm trying to make it as flat as possible so that the post people deliver it for me. So that is why. I was able to make 24 of these. I don't know if I said. I do have a few charms left over. I elected to just do the drop and not make any more with those charms and just tuck the charms away for later. You can always make more. Sometimes if you see something you liked and it's sold out, you can always message me and ask if I have more charms or if I can get more charms. A lot of these things I can make similar. I'm not going to guarantee I can make exact replicas, but what I can do is try and find the same charms, like the central charms. For example, in this one would be that purple bunny ear with the ears and the egg, for example. Some charms are limited, like say 20 mixed Easter charms come in a package, so it's not like I have 10, you know, a specific number of each. It might be limited in that way, but yeah, if you ever see something that you like and you want to know if I can make more, just message me. That's fine. I have so many mermaids left. I definitely will be making, and sea life. I actually ordered a bunch of sea life charms, like sea turtles, seahorses, other sea life, just to make it a little bit more fun. I even found little clay fish that I can put in, they're called clay slices, I believe, that I can put in the minders. I don't have a mermaid one here to show you, but similar to this one has some of the butterflies that are on the clay, a butterfly and a flower. Those are called clay slices, and I found little fishies, so they're going to be really cute. So I will make more mermaids, and I think I have some new mermaid charms that I didn't post before. But before I even get into mermaids again, I'm going to do, after this, I will do, I'm calling it kind of like a spring theme. I have so many butterfly charms, dragonfly charms, ladybug charms, bumblebee charms, tons of flower charms, and I'm making these kind of spring themed, think just butterflies, dragonflies, ladybugs, and flowers. That's going to be the next drop. They're going to be in beautiful pastel-y kind of colors. I have some bright colors too. There's going to be a variety. What I usually do is, because I have to hand paint each of these little wood pieces before I can, you know, work with them, I usually choose 5 colors and paint a whole bunch, and then the minders I make are with those 5 colors, and then I just keep doing it again. Painting it is the most tedious process. That's the part I hate the most. 1, it's messy. 2, I have to do both sides and the side, which is circular, so it can get a bit annoying. So that's the part I hate the least. But once I have them painted, then as long as I have, what am I doing? As long as I have good days and I can work on them consistently, I can then put out quite a few a day compared to a normal person, probably a lot less. But in my standards, I can do quite a few, and I really enjoy, like I said, making these. It's just when I can't diamond paint because of my arm, when I can't do it anymore, this is just something I can add to it. What I usually try to do is I try to work on these minders in the morning, actually, and then sit down in the afternoon and diamond paint once my neck has gotten too sore to hold up anymore. So this is going to Grace. So this is a little Hello Kitty one I found. And then this one, I really like the flowers that I put in there. I had those aside for the spring ones, but I thought they'd look good with some Easter ones, so I'm glad that I did that. So Grace is 4 and 8, so just making sure there. Yeah, so spring ones will be next. And then, I don't know, I've said that I'd look into summer ones too. I actually haven't looked into the charms for those yet. Depending on where I order the charms, sometimes they take a few weeks to come. Sometimes I'm lazy and I just order them from small shops in Canada to support small and also get things faster. It's more expensive, but again, I'm supporting another small shop that's trying to, you know, offer some goods to Canadians, and they're actually, I found some shops that are actually really reasonably priced, which is why I don't mind doing that sometimes, especially if I see maybe a charm that I haven't found elsewhere buying direct, then I will do it that way. But let me know if there are any other themes. I know somebody mentioned dragons. I kind of poked around. I didn't see much, but I didn't look hard, so that is something I'll look into. Let me know in the comments of this video, what other minders would you like to see? Now, I am currently working on a special one for the principal painter, who is Kara. She is a huge fan of Dakota Dateweiler, and she is running the Dakota Dateweiler event. And she asked me if I could make her a minder that would match the cherry blossom tree. I think that's the title of the painting as well. Could be wrong, I'm sorry if I am, by Dakota Dateweiler. So I've been trying to master that. I think I'm going to end up sending, if you're listening, Kara, 3 of them. And you can choose whatever your favorite one is, and then you can either keep all 3, or you can give the 2 away to friends or event participants. Doesn't matter to me. Because I can't quite decide which I like the best, and I'm picky. I can't decide, and I want everything to be perfect, and we all have different tastes. So I might be sending you 3 minders for Cherry Blossom Tree, and then you can pick your favorite one. So that's been fun. So yeah, let me know what kind of themes you guys would like to see minder-wise, and I will see what I can do. I am anticipating I'm going to need surgery again. I actually saw, when did I see? Last week. week and a half ago, I saw a plastic surgeon. That is one of the surgeons that will be involved in my next surgery. It's going to be a vascular surgeon and a plastic surgeon. And I saw him sign consent. Now I'm just waiting for the date. Now, if you are Canadian, you know that that might be next month or it could be in a year. Who really knows? Our healthcare system is broken. But I'm hoping it's before the end of the year. If it's before the end of the year, I will be happy. I've had to wait longer. If anything, my health conditions, oh, these ones are beautiful. Let me show you these. These are Jackie picked these two up. One is with a light purple background and flowers. I actually almost kept that one for myself. And there's that one. Sorry, I just keep double checking. I'm paranoid that I'm going to make a mistake and forget something. And I usually don't do this kind of thing on camera because I usually need to be 100% focused, but my brain fog today is not too bad, so I thought this would be better. This would be okay. And now I forgot what I was... Oh yeah, surgery. So yeah, I'm hoping it's before the end of the year. If it's not, then c'est la vie. I don't even know if that's the right saying. If it's not, oh well, right? I can't control that. That's what I've learned through all of this, is to have patience, real patience. And I think after, when we were going on, I've been dealing with my issues since 2019. 2018. It's getting mixed up now because it's been so long. I think it was 2018, but it took me a good, like, I'm gonna say until, realistically, it took me until this year to really learn patience, or maybe the end of last year. Why is this not working? Trying to make a package as flat as possible is one of the hardest things ever. If you own a small shop, you know nothing's working for me. That surgeon that I did saw, he was really nice. He looked like he belonged on Grey's Anatomy. He was older man, but, you know, well put together. Definitely looked like he could have been on a TV show. Apparently he's a really good plastic surgeon, so hopefully with his help, he will be dealing with the part of the surgery that involves protecting the bundle of nerves, which is a really important part of the surgery. So hopefully what he does will help me in the future, and this time I will actually heal, and hopefully we'll be able to go on with my life, right? We can hope, we can hope. Now it's just waiting for a date, which usually, I'm trying to remember my other surgeries, what it was like. I think I only got a month or two notice. They don't like giving you too much notice because things are canceled all of the time. So they don't like getting your hopes up and then, you know, having to cancel it. So they usually, at least in my surgeons, the specialty they are, they really wait until like 3 or 4 weeks before giving your date. So I really won't know. So kind of the rest of this year, I'm kind of going by the seat of my pants. I'm not making too many promises, like in terms of, for example, running events. I will be doing the May event, which is coming this week. It starts this week. I have lots of prizes for you guys, which I'm excited to, you know, get out to whoever the winners will be. Good luck to everybody for that. Aside from planning an event later in the year, I'm kind of holding off right now. If I do, what it's probably going to be is just with sponsors. This one is going to Allura. That's another beautiful one. This purple is my favorite paint by far. I love this little one. I almost kept this one too. Anything purple, I am bound to almost keep. So yeah, that's why you haven't heard about any more events, just because I don't want to set something in stone and then have to cancel it because of surgeries. I've had to do that before. So for the rest of the year, I'm just going to go, you know, 1 week at a time and see how it is, see what happens. I'm also getting, as you know, continued procedures, injections, infusions, all sorts of medical things they're doing to me multiple times a month. And sometimes these procedures, they do set me back, as you guys are well aware. So I'm trying to just, you know, go a little bit at a time, not make too many promises, because my personality type is if I say I'm going to do something, I want to see it through. And it could be to my detriment. Like, I could be really struggling. I could be in severe pain. I could be not breathing properly, like when my diaphragm was paralyzed, and I still am trying to put out content or, you know, host events or giveaways for you guys. So I've promised myself that instead of doing that, because I know myself too well, I'm just gonna go 1 month at a time, and we'll see where it takes us. So what else did I, oh yeah, another cool thing that we did recently on the weekend of the 20th, actually, we went to a reptile expo. Now, sorry, this little starburst got out of its spot. There we go. Yeah, we went to a local reptile expo. I haven't been to one. I think when I was a kid, we went to one. Or it could have been Science World. I can't remember. But there were pictures of me holding a snake. Now, I'm not going to show you any of that. Don't worry for people who don't like that kind of thing. But I don't know. I saw it popped up on Facebook, local events near you, and I talked to my husband about it, and he thought it would be something cool to do. Now, because of all my issues, I have not done like an outing like that or a special event since before 2017, to be honest. That includes like going out to comedy shows. When we used to live in the big city, which is Vancouver, BC, we used to go out to comedy shows all the time. It's been a long time. I mean, honestly, I'm in bed most nights by 8 o'clock. I am so exhausted. Granted, it's because I in part wake up at really early in the morning, like between 3 and 5 a.m., depending on what kind of night it was. And yeah, I just fall asleep really early, so those kind of shows aren't good for me anymore. But this was the first event, I called it an event, that I was able to manage. I went to it, I had fun, and I wasn't too like exhausted after either. Now let me show you these ones. These are going to Karen and her husband Michael. Beautiful pair. If I remember, these are going to the States, so I'm going to send them in a box. Actually, what I do for the US is I send them, I wrap them the same, and then I put them in a bubble mailer, and then I put them in a white box, a small white box. It's just when I'm sending them with tracking, they require, whether I send it in a bubble mailer or the small box, it's the same price, and I just find the box is least likely to go missing, so that's what I do. So for now, I'm just gonna wrap this like this. And because it's going in a box, it doesn't really matter how. Let me throw in more for you guys, because you guys always support my channel, and I know it's 2 of you on the other end of this package, so we'll give you an extra goodies. So yeah, we went when the Reptile Expo started at like 10 a.m. so we headed out there for that time. There was a bit of a lineup to get in, but it was moving. I brought my walker because when I leave the house, I need a cane or a walker. Most of the time I take the walker. The reason I need it is because I have that condition where basically my body's allergic to gravity. So if I'm standing, especially in one spot for too long, like a couple of minutes, I can actually get very dizzy, and I can pass out if I don't sit down. So I need that walker kind of as a safety blanket, as a seat. So when I start to feel like I'm getting fainty, I can quickly sit down, let my blood go back to my heart and my brain, and continue on. So I'm usually with my walker. If it's a quick in and out, like the quick post office and my husband's with me, I'll just take a cane. However, sometimes the lineup at the post office is worse than like Starbucks. I have regretted that choice sometimes, so it's usually the walker. Anyway, I was really proud. I was able to stand in that line. I had to sit down a few times, but it wasn't too bad. Then when we got in, there were tables kind of around. It's like a craft fair almost, but with reptiles. You know, tables all around with all different businesses and breeders and small shops that sell reptile accessories and stuff. All there. And yeah, we just went around. I caught my eye on these little geckos. It was a husband and wife, and they had their kids there too at their little stand helping them, and they had lots of choices in little geckos. I had been researching some geckos. I don't know, I've been on a reptile kick. On YouTube, every once in a while, I'll have a video, for some reasons, recommended to me. I take a look, and then I'm binging that kind of content for like, I don't know, a few weeks until I get through all the people I want to see. And then I move on to another topic. It's been reptiles lately. This one is going to Carrie from Yellow Dog Designs. Perfect for your little shop too. And I'm gonna use this packaging. Yeah, so I saw a few that caught my eye, but I thought, let's walk around. Let's see what else is around here And we did that. We saw some, you know, other kind of reptiles. There were some bearded dragons, some snakes, all sorts of things. And then like shops that sell like tanks and, you know, accessories for tanks and yada, 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 yada. And there were some exotic pets there too that were just kind of for show. So it was a neat little event. Lots of kids there. They even had some businesses that sold 3D printing things. And they had a bunch of lizards and snakes and reptiles 3D printed, so if the kids couldn't get a live reptile, their parents could buy them a 3D printed reptile, which I thought was a nice idea, and they weren't, you know, unreasonably priced. So I thought that was nice. Anyway, once we made our way around there, we went back to that first table I saw, and I convinced my husband to let me get a gecko. Now, I've been working on that for him like for a couple of weeks, ever since we talked about going to the expo. You know, I'm like, just be open-minded when we go. If we see something we like, just be open-minded. And he's like, we're not getting one, we're not getting one. And I just kept saying, you're going to be open-minded. And he said, I'm not taking you if we're getting a reptile. And I said, all I'm asking is you be open-minded. So he took me and we came home with a little gecko. Now, I'll post a picture of the little gecko because he is cute. He's not slimy or yucky. He's just a little, basically like a little lizard. He's a juvenile. They say he's around 4 months old, but he seems really tiny to me from pictures I've seen online, but I know that pictures are deceiving online. Things always look smaller or bigger than they actually are in real life. So they say he's about 4.5 months old. Actually, we don't know if it's a boy. They're too young to tell if it's a boy or a girl. So right now you'll hear me calling him a he or a she depending on the day. I have 2 names for it. If it's going to be a boy, we named it Ziggy. My husband liked that name. And if it's going to be a girl, I decided to name it Maya. And I don't know, I think it's a girl, but I could be totally wrong. We won't know, I think, until they're closer to like a year old. That's when their organs become apparent, and you can tell pretty easily. So until then, you may hear me refer to him or her as a him or her, but he's adorable. I've actually set him up now with this little hammock, which as I'm speaking, he's sleeping in right now with his legs splayed out. He looks so adorable. Too hard for me to get a picture just the way it is in the tank. It's kind of up high, but yeah, he is just so cute. And I love that I got it from a breeder. So, and they have kids. So I think their kids are part of the handling team and they handle them all. So they're really, these ones are going to you, Joni, if you're watching this. They are really tame. Like, I've been watching lots of videos now on them, and some people, when they have them as babies, they are just crazy. They're jumping all over the place. They're skittish, running around. Mine is actually fairly calm, and you know, he'll walk up and down my arms for a little while, but then he will just sit and just stare at me, and he kind of cocks his head sideways, like if you say the word cookie to a dog. It's kind of what he does when he hears my voice, and it's so cute. And when I walk by the cage and I notice that he's awake, they are nocturnal, so he sleeps during the day, but loud noises seem to wake him up if the dog barks, for example. So I'll go over there and kind of say, it's okay, calm down, whatever. Trying to be a good gecko mom, and his little head turns to me and I see his breathing and his heart rate calm right down. So it's so cute. So I think we've already bonded. I've been hand feeding him now. You're not really supposed to hand feed them, but I was worried when he came home because he was quite skinny to me. I mean, I could see his ribs a little bit. He only weighs 4 grams. When they're in a new enclosure, they sometimes don't eat for many weeks, so he really can't afford to lose any weight. So I didn't force feed him, but I did just use a spoon and just hold it out in front of his little nose, and when he would smell it, then he'd eat some. So they say it's actually good for bonding. They don't recommend it though, but since when do I follow all of the rules, right? So I don't mind. So I've been doing that a little bit, and I gave him his first worm the other day. He was so happy. He crunched that thing down like crazy. And yeah, I think he is thriving. Again, he is nocturnal, so he sleeps for most of the day. But what I've been doing is kind of late afternoon, I've been taking him out kind of before he usually wakes up, handling him, increasing in, you know, starting with 5 minutes and going up from there, just so he gets used to me, my smell, and just the environment, right? And yeah, I think he's doing really good. So that's exciting. That's my little project that's kept me quite busy. I've been doing lots of research, listening to a whole bunch of YouTube videos. I'm totally out of the loop with diamond painting videos because I've been so focused on learning everything I need to know to take care of this little guy so that he thrives. And yeah, it's fun. And just the fact that I was able to make that day and I did so well. Like when we came home, I set up his tank, his enclosure. You know, I did pretty darn good. I was really active. The next day I did wake up really sore. Like my legs felt like they worked a marathon. But aside from that, like I didn't really crash like I usually do. So that's a bonus. That is a plus. So I was really happy with that. And yeah, I've just been trying to focus on him this past week. So I've been off social media a little bit, kind of just doing what I can. I have been in a bit of a slump. I don't know. My pain is pretty well managed right now. I think really it's just a bit of a depression. I do deal with depression. As my husband says, anyone in my scenario would be a little bit depressed. And, you know, the weather has been warm. I've had some nice warm days, but then it gets really cold and wet again like today. And it really does bring my mood down. I can't deny that. So yeah, I've been a little bit kind of down, but I'm trucking along. I'm surviving. I am surviving. That's the important part. After that expo, the following week, I had to go back into the big city for that special infusion. Those of you that don't know, I get an infusion once a month it's a type of anesthetic called lidocaine, and it's infused over 20 to 24 hours right now, just under the skin, and it provides, for some people, pain relief, and it does for me, for nerve pain. It almost feels like most days, the switch is turned off. Like if you're in chronic pain or you've ever been in chronic pain, you might know what I'm talking about. You always feel like you are running from a lion. You're always feeling stressed. You feel like your heart's pounding all the time. You just don't feel good. Sorry, I'm trying to get these little starbursts to go back where I wanted them. Yeah, so it is the central nervous system that's stuck in the on position, and that happens with a lot of us in chronic pain. It happens time to time, and I think this lidocaine infusion has really helped turn that off, because I was feeling like constantly pretty crappy and always feeling like I was running from a lion. Since I've started that infusion, that's actually improved, and I do have moments of pain, but most of the time I wouldn't register my pain on any kind of scale. I would say it's managed well since starting that infusion. So I'm really happy that's part of the treatment plan. I'm actually even contemplating, sorry, I didn't show you guys those minders. Those ones are for Christine. I'm even contemplating talking to the other doctor about stopping some of the injections that I get, because the last Botox I got, it made me so sick. I was sick for like 2.5 to 3 weeks. Sometimes it makes you feel like you're flu-like, and then just like it makes all your symptoms worse temporarily. Now I'm fine now, but the flare-up was just awful this time around, that I said to my husband, I don't know if I want any more Botox. Like, do I really need this still? However, there is benefit. I noticed this time, and I know that I've made mention of this before, that I have central, number 11? Where's number 11? There it is. My central apnea, my brain doesn't tell my lungs to breathe. When the Botox wore off, it was actually worse. My numbers were up in the 45s again. You may have heard me mention that. Now that the Botox has kicked in, my numbers are back down to under 10. So I do think that it does do something medically, so I probably need it. She's probably going to say you need it for now. Maybe after the next surgery we can stop it, but I'm going to see about stopping it in my neck, because that's the hardest part. When my neck gets bad, I am inconsolable. I feel like I need to go to the hospital. I feel like somebody needs to do something, put me in a coma until it's over. It is so debilitating. Like, I can't even sit here in diamond paint. I can't just relax. It's just awful. So who knows? I see that doctor again in May, so I may talk to her about the fact that these infusions are having such a good benefit, why don't we skip injections and just see what happens if we just do infusions? I mean, less appointments, my husband would be a lot happier too, but like any of the kind of procedures they can offer, they always come with risks. And yeah, you do, you often get flare-ups. So for some people, it's not worth it, right? And that's how I was kind of feeling this last time too. So I'll be bringing that up and talking to her about it and see what she says. Nothing really else happened the rest of that week, last week, except I did miss the Friday Diamond Art Club Roundup, and I missed it because I went too hard with the massage gun. I had a fight with the massage gun, is what I've been saying. On the Thursday night, I was in so much pain on my right arm, which is my good arm. I'd been diamond painting, and I guess I should have stopped, and I didn't. So it was really angry. So as usual, I use a massage gun to work out the tight muscles. It helps release the pressure on the nerves too. But I guess I went too hard and I completely bruised like my chest, my pec area, kind of high shoulder, my side and the back in the shoulder blade. I had my husband help me there, and I guess he also went too hard. And yeah, I actually have bruises all over. But on Friday morning when I woke up, I could barely speak. Every time I moved, like even my lips, or even to breathe, the muscles that are bruised were spasming, and it was just, I was just yelping in pain with every movement. So I had to miss the Diamond Art Club Roundup last week, but hopefully this week, now I didn't update my actual agenda here, so I can't remember what appointments I have this week, but if the end of the week is somewhat free, then yes, I will be doing a roundup for next week. I actually was supposed to have one of the sneak peeks for last weekend, which would have been, or I guess the 27th, April 27th. I was supposed to have one of the sneak peeks. And it didn't arrive to their warehouse in time, so they sent it out late. It is on the way. I think it's supposed to be here Monday, which I'm putting this video up on Monday. So if it is, then you may see a first look, is what we call them, when the Diamond Art Club sneak peeks don't arrive in time. You may see those. Let me show you these. These are for Katrina. So yeah, be on the lookout for that one. I'm also contemplating doing a giveaway with that kit, so stay tuned for that. No final decision has been made yet, but maybe in the future. What else? This week, I do know I have a couple of appointments. I have, to go to the dentist again for cleaning, thankfully, nothing serious. And then I do see my respirologist again. Finally, hopefully, they are able to connect me with the right breathing machine so that I can get the proper treatment for my breathing disorder, and I will feel a lot better. So I'm looking forward to that, and I hope it works out. I'm a little concerned now because with the Botox working, now it's worked. My breathing numbers are down to like 5, below 10. They were up at 45. So when I had the sleep test, my numbers were in the 45 and plus. So they set me on a certain pressure. Well, now my numbers are under 10, mostly around 5. So that pressure they set me with is probably going to be too strong. So I'm crossing my fingers they don't make me take another sleeping test. I'm going to scream. I think I'm going to refuse. I think I am. I am quite capable of adjusting my pressure accordingly so the numbers are right. That's the thing with my central apnea. It's from damage to my central nervous system and the nerve damage in my arms, the main brachial plexus is what it's called. And because that compression I'm still dealing with it, I have good and bad days. So if I'm having a bad day, my central apnea is going to be bad. If I'm having a good day, my central apnea is going to be good. So it's going to fluctuate anyway. So I'm hoping that we can just work it out and try. Maybe she'll suggest starting with a lower pressure than initially suggested by the sleep clinic and going from there. But hopefully I get my new machine, because without sleep, you can't heal and you just feel like crap. And that's what I've been feeling. So let me show you some other minders here now. Kareen got number 1 and 2. Let me just pull up 1 and 2. These ones will be for Kareen. I ran out of a few things here, so I'll have to do those after. And then right now, these ones I have left unless somebody has spoken for them on the Facebook group yet. So here we have this one. I might keep this one. I think that one's cute. I might keep this one too. I think this one's really adorable. Then there's this one. And this one. I might give one to Mom too. I can't remember if she stole one already or not, but I think this is a good place to wrap up this video. It looks like I was talking for quite a while. Fingers crossed, I don't think I made any mistakes. I will now go through and put everybody's addresses on their packages. I'm aiming to have these out in the mail on Tuesday, which would be April 30th. My husband's off that day, so he can help me do a mail run. If you're in Canada, everything's coming ground mail. That means without tracking. Should arrive within 1.5 to 2 weeks. Just depends how far away. I'm in BC, remember? So if you're all the way on the other side of Canada, then it may take closer to 2 weeks. If you don't get your package and it's been 3 weeks, just send me a message on Facebook Messenger. We'll look into it. In Canada, at least, all packages have always arrived. So fingers crossed for that. Am I missing anything? I have no idea. The event is starting this week, so it's officially starting on May 1st. It's going to go until the end of May, so that would be the 31st, I believe. We're going to have weekly prizes. I've already posted all of the prize packs. The prize packs are packs that I put together. Most of the stuff inside is from me. I've purchased some stuff, 2 small shops, Bee's Crafty Corner and Creations Marin. They both offered something, of course, release papers from Bee's and putty from Creations Marin for each prize pack. So that is added in. The other stuff, it's either donated by a few group members. Some of the pens and some of the trays have been donated by a few group members over the past year. And then the rest has been purchased by me for those kits. So that's all put on by me. And then there's another post with the sponsor highlights. That is all of the prizes the sponsors are giving. So all of the small shops. So make sure to check out those 2 posts in the Facebook group. How my events work, they're really laid back. I don't like a lot of rules because it's just too much for my brain to think about. I can't imagine for you guys, especially if it's your first event. So I like to keep it simple. On Friday mornings, when I wake up, I post the progress post for the week. You have until Sunday, midnight-ish. Usually when I wake up Monday morning is when I close it. You have to put your progress post, so your photo of your work in progress on that post by the deadline to be entered for the week's prizes. On Wednesday, I then will make a post in the Facebook group with the prize winners. Confirm your shipping info is right and all that stuff. Confirm any shipping costs, and then I'll get stuff shipped out to the winners. That's how the event works. Again, no new start, no finish required. Just make progress, you know. Don't post the same picture each week. You won't be entered for prizes. Be honest, right? Be an adult. Be honest. If you're not making progress, don't post your progress pic. If you made progress, then post it, right? Yeah, but I just want it to be fun. I like giving prizes away, and I hope everybody will have a great time as well. If you made it to the end, how about leave me a Easter Bunny emoji or something Easter related emoji in the comments so I know you made it all to the end. You guys are awesome. If you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I would love to have you join our little community. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You can click the notification bell to be notified when I do post new videos as well. Also join us over on Facebook at DAC Fans Canada. Make sure you answer the group questions to gain entry into the group. If there's any issues, just send me a message. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. That really does help in YouTube land. Hopefully I get back on track soon, and yeah, can't wait. Until next time, you guys, happy diamond painting. Bye.